All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest, most fundamental shifts happening in business right now, agentic AI. We're going to explore how this tech is going way beyond simple automation and becoming a genuine engine for growth, totally changing how companies work.
I want to start with this one simple but really powerful question from our source material. What if marketing became electricity? I mean, really think about that. What if growing your business was as simple, as reliable, and as invisible as just flipping a light switch? Imagine plugging your whole operation into a grid that just works. This isn't just a cool metaphor. It's the whole design philosophy that's starting to reshape everything. For decades, we've thought about growth as a battlefield, right? It was all about these heroic manual efforts. You'd launch a massive campaign, fight for every eyeball, and try to stitch together all these fragmented, broken systems. The new vision? It's completely different. It's looking at growth as a utility, something you just plug into that runs 24/7 in the background, ambient, continuous, and always learning, not this constant, exhausting struggle. So, what's the new power source making this whole utility model possible? Well, it's a technology called Agentic AI. You can think of it as the power plant, the grid, and the wiring all rolled into one. It's everything you need to go from that old manual way of doing things to a true, always-on growth engine. Okay, so let's quickly define what an AI agent even is, because the term gets thrown around a lot. Just think of it like a smart, autonomous software employee. It's got a brain, that's the large language model, which lets it reason and make plans. It has hands, which give it access to tools, like APIs and databases. It has a memory, so it can learn from what it does. And this is the crucial part, it has a feedback loop, so it can look at its own work, figure out what went wrong, and actually get better over time. And here's the really cool part. This isn't about some single, all-powerful AI. The real magic comes from how these agents work together as a specialized team. So you'll have a research agent that goes out and gathers all the intel. Then a planning agent takes that intel and builds a strategy. An execution agent actually does the work, deploying the campaign. And finally, a review agent analyzes the results and feeds that info back into the system. It's just like a high-performing human team, but it operates at machine speed and scale. So this is the main thing to get. This is not just the next step for automation. It's a completely different thing. Traditional automation is like an assembly line. It just follows a very rigid, pre-written script. Do this, then do that. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is like a self-managing factory. You don't give it a script. You give it a goal. You say, hey, increase our pipeline velocity, and it figures out how to do it, adapting and collaborating as it goes. It's a huge leap. Okay, so that's the what. But who cares, right? What about the so what? Let's look at how this is actually working in the real world, because frankly, the results are staggering. This chart just lays it all out there. According to BCG data, companies that are really leading the charge on agentic AI are seeing revenue growth of over 6%. And the laggards, the ones dragging their feet, just over 1%. That is a massive competitive advantage opening up, like right now. And we are talking about real, significant money. Some of these agentic platforms, which have been trained on millions of campaigns, have already generated over $100 million in pipeline for their clients. This isn't some science fiction future. It is happening as we speak. It's not just about getting more leads, it's about getting better leads. Users are reporting a 4 to 7 times improvement in their conversion rates. Because these agents can understand intent and personalize their outreach at a massive scale, they're just dramatically more effective. And of course, it's way more efficient. Businesses are seeing up to a 70% reduction in their outbound marketing and sales costs. Think about that. You're getting way better results for significantly less money. That's the power of that utility model in action. And the impact here goes way beyond just the marketing department. This stuff is rewiring entire organizations. Marketing teams are building campaigns up to 15 times faster. Sales teams are speeding up their deal cycles by 40%. And customer service is seeing efficiency gains of 30, 40, even 50%. This is a true horizontal revolution. Now, whenever we talk about this kind of mind-blowing automation, there's always that big, obvious question that pops up. What does this all mean for us? For people, for jobs. So let's just tackle it head on. Are humans being replaced? The clear answer coming from the source material is no. But our roles are absolutely fundamentally changing. See, instead of being the hands that do all the manual work, we're becoming the essential circuit breakers on this new grid. We become the ethical governors, making sure trust and brand integrity are protected. We're the creative catalysts, injecting new ideas that data alone could never come up with. We're the strategic architects, making sure all this powerful growth is aligned with a real mission. And, maybe most importantly, we are the crisis navigators for when the messy real world doesn't follow the patterns. This quote from Lou Mitzer just nails it. Humans won't lose their jobs to AI. They'll lose them to humans who use AI better. It's all about augmentation and evolving our skills, not about being replaced. The value is shifting away from pure execution and toward human judgment. So, look, the potential here is enormous. It's incredible. But like any powerful new infrastructure, we have to be really thoughtful about how we build it and about how we flip the switch.
And there are some real friction points that could break this whole grid if we're not careful. We have to build trust in systems that can feel like a black box. We have to make sure data privacy is built in from the start, not just bolted on later. There's a real risk of homogenization, where every brand starts to sound exactly the same because they're using the same tools. And kind of ironically, this new electricity of marketing consumes a massive amount of actual real electricity. These are the problems we have to solve.
And all of that brings us to the core takeaway here. The goal isn't a world of fully autonomous marketing where humans are just sitting on the sidelines. The goal, the future, is augmented marketing. It's a powerful partnership where machines give us speed and scale, and we, the humans, provide the wisdom, the creativity, and the direction.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Flipping the switch to this new utility, it's within our grasp. The technology is here. The real challenge, the real question, is how we choose to use it. Are we going to build this new grid with real intention and restraint? And are we going to use it with enough imagination to create something that's not just more efficient, but genuinely better? That's the challenge ahead of us.